We're back here at the EB-5 Investor Magazine and U Global event, and I'm standing here with Niral Patel at KLD Attorneys. Niral, we are always being approached by investors looking for the best consultants in the industry. Obviously, KLD is one of those names. Please go ahead and introduce yourself and the firm, and tell us a little bit about your services.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks, Colin. So my name is Niral Patel. I'm a partner at KLD. We're a full-service immigration firm, and we specialize in EB-5. We have offices in LA, New York, Miami. Sort of what differentiates us from a lot of other consultants and firms is that not only do we assist projects with structuring their deals and making sure that they can even take on EB-5 investors, but we travel around the world, work very closely with our clients to bring them over to the US, get them through the EB-5 process, work on their source of funds, get them their conditional green cards and their permanent green cards.
EB-5 investors, starting off early in the journey and everything else, one of the most commonly asked questions that you get from a new EB-5 investor?
A bunch. I deal mostly with a lot of our Indian clients, and I think the number one question that I get is, how long is all of this going to take? What are the benefits to me and my family? And our job as consultants is to sort of, give them that peace of mind that what they're doing is they are securing, lifelong permanent residency in the U.S. for them and their children, especially for their children who are in the U.S. who are students having to go through the H-1B and EB-2 backlogs. The EB-5 laws really, really assist them, make sure they don't get caught up in all of that craziness. Then they ask us about their source of funds. Are our funds clean? How long will it take for us to get our money back? How secure is all of this? And so our job is to really mentor them over the course of the next 4, 6, 7 years and make sure that every step of the way they're taken care of.
One more thing, talking about for investors, what you think is one of the biggest fears that your investors have, and how do you cure it?
That's a great question. I think, they have the two biggest fears. One is, I have shifted my entire family now to the U.S. We've got on our conditional green cards. What if we don't get our 10-year green card? What if I have to shift my family who have been in the U.S. for the last 2 to 3 years? Do I have to uproot them outside of school and move back to where we came from? And then the second biggest fear is, well, what if I don't get my money back? And so the way we cure that is, know who you're working with. Work with the best immigration attorneys, work with the best projects where they each have a track record. They have a track record of getting families their green cards, their conditional green cards, their permanent green cards. You're working with a project that has a track record of successful EB-5 projects where they've created the jobs, they've started to repay investors, and these are all good indications that you have the right team for you moving forward.
So, Niral, you deal with a lot of investors that come from India, and the ones that are not here, not H-1B, not F-1 students, but people that are actually in India. Is there any special strategies or special complications that you're aware of that come from investing out of India?
Pre-COVID, I was making trips out to India about once or twice a month. Post-COVID, I go maybe 2-3 times a year to meet with investors in India and walk them through the issues that may arise. The remittance restrictions. You can only remit $250,000 per family member coming out of India. So a lot of the times, we'll structure it according to the financial fiscal year in India. I think the other sort of bigger issues you see with the U.S. Embassy in India. During COVID, a lot of that shut down. They had backlogs, visa backlogs, and people have been waiting in line. So our job is to, keep the investor calm, train them, give them accurate information on timelines, and then walk them through that interview process as well.
Looking at the brand new 2022 RIA policy and things like that, a lot of things have changed. What do you think was one of the biggest gains or the biggest wins for the EB-5 investor that come from the policy?
My favorite one is the ability to concurrently file. I think with that, processing times has always been an issue with EB-5. Prior to the RIA, you had to wait for I-526 to be approved 2 to 3 years, and only then could you apply for your green card benefits. Now you can apply for it concurrently if you're within the U.S. So those who are students and who are caught up in the H-1B and EB-2 backlog, they get to take advantage of the green card benefits until their green card is issued.
One of the biggest things that an investor comes to us and asks is, says, how certain are you that I can get approved? So when you're dealing with a new investor and you've got their I-526 fully reviewed, you have all their documents, you're getting ready to file, Based on the program and your knowledge and expertise, how certain can you be about an investor's chances of being approved or denied?
Given our experience and our track record, I think we're in the absolute perfect position to sort of make that analysis. The way we operate is for our clients, for the safety of our clients, for the protection of the project and ourselves. A client never transfers money to the project until we've gone through their source of funds and we've verified that their source of funds are approvable. And this is coming from filing close to 5,000 investor applications, going through the source of funds process close to 5,000 times. We know exactly what USCIS is looking for, and we work with the client to ensure that all of their issues are covered before they file.
Getting past just introducing like why somebody needs an EB-5 immigration attorney, but some people already have one, but might not be specialized in EB-5. What's the difference of an EB-5 immigration attorney versus a general immigration attorney?
I actually used to be a general immigration attorney until I got into EB-5. This whole different animal, really. You have to be so ingrained and knowledgeable about EB-5 policy, which a lot of it's up to interpretation. And then you also have to be very, very well knowledge on exactly what source of funds is, knowing what documents to request. And then you also have to have an in-depth knowledge of an EB-5 project to know what USCIS is looking for from a project standpoint. Because an EB-5 petition for an applicant can be rejected or denied from many angles, source of funds being one of them, project issues being the other. So a good EB-5 attorney needs to know exactly what makes a good EB-5 project that's approvable and